John, first of all, welcome back. How nice is it to be back here at STC with the players and starting the preparations for the new campaign?
Yeah, it's a really exciting time. You know, the boys have come back. They're fully fit. They're raring to go. You know, they've had a really good summer, but you can see they've all worked hard as well, keeping their fitness levels up, which I think the modern day player now does. So they haven't come in to get super fit. They've come in to make sure that we're ready for that first game of the season, and everyone's looking forward to it.
There were challenges last season. Was the mental and physical break needed for everybody? Sort of draw a line at the end of last season and start looking forward?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's all about now. It's important we really build on the good work that we did at the end of last season. You know, we built that togetherness. You know, the fans are fantastic with the players, which is what we asked for. And you know, going into this season, we're gonna need everyone on board, singing off the same hymn sheet again. So, you know, the most important thing is that we keep building, bring positivity to this football club, which is what we did when we finished the season last season, and it's what I want going forward.
Do you feel there is a platform then in place to build on going forward now?
Of course there is. You could see there's a lot of players which are contracted to the football club. We haven't lost many players, which is good. It's important now we build and we add to this special group of players and really make us a competitive team going forward.
How much are you looking forward to the full pre-season, a chance perhaps to really implement your ideas and put your stamp on the team? Did it feel at times last year that it was just working towards a certain goal rather than everything being as you would ideally like it?
I think so. I think obviously them 9 games in 27 days wasn't ideal when we first came in, but the way the boys applied themselves, just from a lot of classroom work really was very, very good. We turned our fortunes around, although we didn't win as many games as we wanted to in them games. We got 8 draws and really stopped the rot. And I think when we then had the international break, you could see we did a good couple of weeks on the training field, and then the results started to come and we started to pick more points up. So yeah, these next 6 or 7 weeks are really important that we embed our style of play, our principles of play, and everyone gets used to what we want.
Did we see some of the hallmarks of what you want though when you have performances, even some of the games that we didn't win? I think Ipswich, Southampton, Coventry, for example, those games, the performances were there, and then we went and won at other places. Did we see some of the things you would want to keep going forward as well? 100%,
yeah. We just want to build on all the good stuff we managed to show last season, and the most important thing is that we've got that togetherness, that every team that we play know it's going to be competitive, home and away. We can go wherever we want, and we make sure that Blackburn Rovers turn up ready to fight for the shirt and to make the fans proud of us.
You had a good look at the squad itself towards the tail end of last season. Has that helped you in a way, knowing what is needed going forward to make the club successful?
Of course it is, and I think it's very evident, and everyone could see what we needed, and what we need to bring into the building. Obviously, I think we played some really good football at times last year. We weren't clinical enough in the final third. It's the areas that we need to improve on, of course. Defensively, them 6 clean sheets out of the last 10 games, I think that was a sensational effort from the group. But certainly going forward, we need to improve them numbers, and those are the areas we're looking to bring in.
You know how fans are, they're impatient, they want signings in, probably the day after last season ended. How does that process work throughout the summer?
Yeah, no, listen, we highlight players that we want to bring in. Obviously, then, the board get together and they look at the figures, they go and get the budget for this season coming up, and we have to work around that budget, and that's what we're doing at the moment, and hopefully we can bring in the right players to certainly make this team better and more competitive.
It feels like relatively slow across the board at the moment. Are you sensing that with things like the Euros going on? You generally get it when there's major tournaments, that it does take a while for the market to really hot up.
Of course it does. You can see not many teams at our level have made any signings really. So, we have to be patient. We have to make sure whatever budget we're working on, we make sure the right players are brought in and we don't panic and rush anything. So, everyone's working hard to make sure we do that.
Is that the key, that we find the right players? I think at the end of last season you said it wasn't tearing everything up and starting again. You wanted sort of key players to supplement what we'd already got.
Yeah, because we've got a really special group of players here. I think last year's experience, that relegation fight, was something new for the whole squad of players. So that going into this season will make the group a lot stronger. I think we need to add 4 or 5 players in the right areas, in the key areas, and I think with the squad of players we've got, we can really be a force to be reckoned with.
It was quite a young squad. Is experience one of the things on your wish list?
Yeah, experience of course, but they don't have to be 32, 33, 34 for that experience. There's a lot of players now at 21, 22 with a couple of hundred games under their belt as well. So, you know, it's getting the right blend of players. It's just about getting the right players who are going to make us better and improve us in the right areas, and that's what we're looking for.
We have been able to welcome back Lewis Travis, who was on loan when you arrived at the football club. How do you see his future with the football club, and how big a part do you feel he could play?
I think he can play a big part, a huge part. You know, obviously he was the club captain before he left. He's just been promoted with Ipswich. You know, he's great experience, and you know he's bringing that experience back to this group of players now. So you know, that can only help the group, and I'm really looking forward to working with Lewis. And you know, hopefully everything will be positive, and we can win a lot more games with him in the team.
Is he someone who you've sort of seen from afar and admire the qualities that he can bring? He's kind of different to the other midfielders that we've got at the football club, isn't he?
Yeah, it's important that we just get the right blend in the squad, the right blend of player, and you know, he is something that we haven't had as much since I've been at the club. So yeah, he'll come in and make us competitive, and really, you know, it's important that we just make each position competitive, not having 2 or 3 players who know they're going to be playing week in, week out. It's important that we've got these players are fighting for the spots, making them hungry, and they have to perform week in, week out to make sure they keep the shirt.
In general, pre-season, how big an opportunity is it for all the players to try and impress you and catch the eye? Because there was some that would have been here second half of last season, might not have played as much as they would have wanted, but is it almost like a bit of a clean slate to go again for this year? Yep,
it certainly is. I went and saw Jack Vale and Georgie Gent play at Motherwell at the end of the season up at Hibs. You know, there's 2 young, exciting players coming into the group as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they do over the next 6 or 7 weeks. But everyone who's back now will get an opportunity. We've got lots of friendly games. You know, those games are opportunities for everyone to showcase and highlight what they've got. It's about us getting fit as a team. You know, it's not about the results, but it's also about making sure that the younger players who haven't been playing get an opportunity to showcase themselves in front of our fans and myself.
It just gives an idea then how pre-season is looking. There is games against Accrington coming up in a week or so's time now, aren't there? And then Austria on the back of that, then some more games. It is literally everything designed to work towards that first game of the season and beyond.
It is. The most important thing is that we start the season well. You know, we get as many positive results as we can up to the international break, and this 6 or 7 weeks now is all geared for that. You know, it's important no one gets carried away with, you know, the friendly games. We go there to get fit. We go there to try different systems, to try different personnel out, and you know, just see where we are come that first game of the season at home to Derby County.
Fixtures are out now. Does it become a little bit more real when you've got them all in black and white on a piece of paper and you can say, right, we know sort of the roadmap for the next 8-9 months now?
Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, and you know, the most important thing is that, you know, that we start the season well. You know, we've got a good opportunity at Derby, Oxford, Burnley. You know, we've got some really exciting teams coming up early on, and you know, it's important that we stamp our own authority on what we want to do this season.
Was the first thing when you get a home game first up as well? Do you look for that and think, well, you know, it's going to be a tough game, they all are in the Championship, but it gives us an opportunity in front of our own fans to try and start how we'd like?
Yeah, Friday night, live on Sky as well. You know, what an exciting first game of the season it is against a fantastic club, one of my own old clubs in Derby County as well. So I'm sure it'll be a fantastic atmosphere, and one that we will all look forward to.
You'll know that the supporters, the first thing they'll have looked for is Burnley home and away. What have you been told about that derby itself?
Yeah, it's an excellent, real tough derby, and that's what we want. You know, we know, you know, it's about the bragging rights, and you know, it's something that I'll be very much keen on doing. It's important that home and away we go there and give them a really tough game and make sure they know that Blackburn Rovers are a top team, and you know, we'll be rolling our sleeves up and we'll make sure we give a good fight and a good account of ourselves.
You'll have been involved in lots of derbies throughout your career. How special are they to be involved in?
Yeah, they're great. You know, they're one-off games. You know, the form kind of goes out the window, and you know, it's about making sure the fans are proud of the performance, and most of the time that's by winning the game. So yeah, listen, what a great 2 games it's going to be, and I'm glad they got relegated down to the Championship and we stayed up, and now we can have a couple of great games against them.
Just in general terms, what would be the expectations for the goals for this season?
I think just to be competitive, to keep improving, obviously to finish higher than what we did last season, and you know, just take the season, you know, one game as it comes, and just make sure that we've got a really competitive team, we've got a good spirit, the fans are proud of us, and obviously we'll move up that league as quickly as we can, and just stick together.